Okay. Our cities are our futures. Body came saluting us. Somebody tell me how we could have a balance today.
Yeah, this is amazing. You look good, De Joe. Here it is.
I love to see
Philly. It's here with us.
and it's
going nowhere now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Let me work with the first ones we had, the first lines.
Have you still got them?
Yeah. How I feel about my city. Is it love? Is it beautiful?
What genre is that?
How I see. Not even sure. How I Maybe I'll go for soul.
Yeah, could be. Blues. I'd say blues. I was a bit sad.
People in the Bible, people on a mission. Trying to use the words. We have Stan, Stephanie.
Yeah, if anyone wants to join in humming to the melody.
How I feel about my city. Is it love? Is it hatred? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Here it is, a lost with fear completely. It's here with us, and it's going over now. Informality, struggle for inclusiveness, the voice of ordinariness, shaping our cities. Southern cities, balanced cities, this inclusivity. Mixed uses, elder cities, balanced cities, there's inclusivity. Mixed uses, yeah. Let's do this. We strive for decency, respect for human lives, dignity and well-being. We strive for decency, respect for human lives, dignity and well-being. Southern cities, Balancity, balancity, this inclusivity, mixed uses, elder cities, balance cities, this inclusivity, mixed uses, say I, sta da 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 da, sta da 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 da, sta da 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 da, sta da 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 da. Southern cities, all things are possible. Southern cities, all things are possible. Yes, that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Quarcoo for all of you that have just joined us. Thanks for joining us and welcome to this session.
Awesome, yes. You're all welcome. Yeah, so it's beautiful to have you all. We're keeping this as an informal session. We'll encourage everyone to just feel at ease, and we'd like to, hear some voices here and there. I'm co-hosting this with Jinty, and my name is Joe Quarcoo, as Jinty said, and we are part of the 2020 cohort of the Southern Urbanism program at the University of Cape Town, specifically from the Africa Center for Cities. And this song and this whole idea and the project of the Southern Cities song came out of our experience at the Africa Center for Cities. So you're welcome. I would like to hear some voices. Bulelani, I see you there. And Dr. Kereng. Anyone want to say hello?
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Doc.
Hi. Where are you speaking from? Are you in Cape Town?
I'm in Northwest. I'm in Ramosiri Muilwa.
Wow.
Zeras is our town.
Zeras.
Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who else is here? Do we have any Cape Townians?
No.
No. Where are you all from?
Joburg.
Joburg, eh?
Hey.
Hi.
Nice, yeah, I see Stephanie.
So we kind of wanted to make this as interactive as possible. Obviously, it would be ideal if we could be in the same room and we could be strumming the guitar together and so on and so forth. But it's a kind of a way of also getting into the thinking space that this festival is a part of. I think that we can all agree, even though we don't know each other, that all of us love the city space. We're excited about experimentation. We're excited about collaboration. And this is really what our process is about. So we're going to ask you one small favor. I presume you have a desktop, you have a cell phone. I don't know if any of you have used Slido before, slido.com. I'm going to put it on the chat. Just bring that up on your browser. And then it's going to enable us to just interact with each other slightly more easily than using chat, if you're all comfortable with doing that. If there's anyone who doesn't feel comfortable with it, then just you can use a chat and I can always put your responses into Slido. If you can just indicate that to me or just put it into the chat.
Yeah, so we will share a first link, which is going to open up the conversation.
So basically, you've got plenty of time. Don't feel pressurized. We wanted to invite as many of you as feel comfortable just to kind of collaborate with us in this process of experimental songwriting. And that idea came to us when I heard that De Joe actually has his guitar in Cape Town. So I thought, rather than us just sitting here telling you what we think a song can accomplish, we'd rather like to bring you with us. So when you have it up on your browser, you basically, and it's it's really, really fun. I'm going to go to the app myself. So you enter this code, so it's 081033, or you can just scan the code.
081033.
It's in the chat as well.
Double
Can you put
three.
in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, double
0.
three.
And go.
Yeah, so when you think of your city, what feeling comes over you? And can you describe this feeling in a couple of words or a line? So put in the line or the couple of words in the Slido.
And guys, it does come up anonymously. So just really like whatever comes to mind, don't censor yourself. It doesn't have to be pretty. It can be ugly. It can depend on the day. Oh, wow. Okay. Contradiction. Really interesting ones coming up. Yeah. So I think, Djibouti, maybe we can just people, really interesting ones coming up. And maybe we can go back to talking about why we're here and kind of sharing the journey that we've been on.
Yes, yes. We're hoping that a couple more of our colleagues can join us. But yeah, it's been a journey, right? Last year, we started off as a student at the African Center for Cities, studying Southern Urbanism, where we focus on urbanization in the global South, particularly African cities. And as part of the process, the theories and the readings that we did, it was just a lot of it and quite enriching. And this process kind of opened us up to different ways of viewing the city and understanding the city and even our experiences of the city. And we, as part of our city research studio, we went to Napier, working closely with the Cape Agulhas municipality and the Western Cape provincial government to for an in-situ upgrade in an informal settlement in Napier. And whilst we were there, that was where I wrote the song Southern Cities, reflecting on the theories and the experiences that we're having in our cities, and also being in the space in Napier and interacting with the people. I think this entire process kind of brought or gave birth to the Southern Cities song. And as a collective, we came together and worked on it, and our video is amazing. You're going to see the video at 1 p.m. in the afternoon session. You're going to see the video. And yeah, so all of these, how the fact that urban planning as we find it in many parts of Africa, I'm Ghanaian, and reflecting from the Ghanaian perspective, where I am a planner in Ghana, we find that our planning is based on orthodox principles, planning models, which kind of keeps marginalizing the urban poor. And these are the majority of urban dwellers. So that means that we have the majority of people living vulnerable lives. And our point of departure or our argument is that we must have a different perspective to our cities. We must look at our cities in a different way. And to do so, planners will have to, as it were, embrace informality or accept informality as a dominant mode of urbanization in the global South. So that's the point of departure from which we're coming. And yeah, Jinty.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back a little bit and say, well, obviously we would have liked to have started this process by playing you the song, but you're going to have to wait a little bit. But yeah, our sort of collaboration, I think it's important to say that we were a bunch of people, a bunch of planners, geographers, sociologists, different backgrounds coming together, but also from really different places, mainly across Africa. We had people from Zimbabwe, we had people from Egypt, we had people from South Africa, from Italy,
Djibouti,
and so for Djibouti, I'm forgetting a couple of them. So, the song is about, in a way, the academic learning that we were going through, but it's also about a conversation between us. So it was about keeping that conversation going throughout the year when we were all engaged in very different things. So I think a song is actually something that can do a lot of different things. And for us, it was really about that conversation. It was about bringing in different vernaculars, different ideas, and seeing what emerged. As for myself, I'm from a completely different background from De Joe. I basically came from a sort of writing and journalist background and took a very circuitous route into the city space. But I really enjoy experimentation. I enjoy storytelling. I enjoy people and places. So, you know, we all brought our little bits and pieces, and that's what we're hoping that our little collaboration here this morning can also do.
Indeed. And for me, another thing that I feel strongly is how the fact that the youth are the largest stakeholders in Africa. But however, the youth are marginalized. And I feel that for people to actually push for change, they need to understand, right? People need to grasp what's happening. How are cities being shaped? What influences where a mall is located, or where a food joint is located, or a pub is located? You know, these are planning decisions, and they are political decisions. And so if the youth are not empowered to understand these things, if we don't break down this urban phenomena into simple and easy to understand language, then people cannot really push for their rights to the city. And so that's also one of the reasons why we chose to use music, which is something that in our generation now, people love to listen and to watch. So what better medium than music and videos to communicate complex urban theories and ideologies? Yeah, so that was what brought about all of this. And we'd like to experiment with the responses that we have now. We see we have reverence, yeah, belonging, home, hope, segregated, elitism, security. So we're going to try something now. If you're in the mood, you can give us a line or maybe a phrase. It's experimentational. So, all right, let's see what we can do.
Joe, put your creative cap on.
Oh, goodness. How I feel about my city. Uncertainty, it's hidden. There's insecurity. There are struggles.
She's on.
Hello.
Come again, yeah. Who's speaking? All right, let's do this again. There's a perfect storm. Anxiety. My city is expected. I feel insecure. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's inequality. Conflicted. Oh, wondering if it will be as lively as it used to be pre-COVID.
Wow, I think we've got the first bit there. I'm wondering if we can bring in some other voices. I'm really curious about what some of you have put in here, and of course you don't have to respond, but there's a lot of questions, I think, uncertainty, things that are hidden, wondering what's going to happen afterwards. Does anyone want to jump in there? The longest line, uncertainty, wondering if it will be as lively as it used to be pre-COVID.
Come again.
I'm wondering if you want to just share with us why you chose the words or the line that you put in there.
I chose sit in the sun because I come from Nairobi, and Nairobi is sit in the sun where daughters are happy, like son and daughter. So everybody's happy.
City in the sun.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
City in the sun.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, yeah.
Sorry, just to come in, I had made the comment about uncertainty. Sorry, my camera's off. I do not look presentable, sorry. And for me, it was just really reflecting on now that, things are slightly a bit more open and a lot more people are vaccinated. We're spending a lot more time outside, but there's still this an underlying, like a current where it's just, you're always uncertain and you're never fully comfortable and you're wondering if you'll get back to that peace. That kind of, we were just completely oblivious and we didn't know anything like this could happen to us. And now we're almost changed forever. And can we go back to that kind of freedom of just being in space and enjoying it for what it is and not constantly having to worry about, if you could get COVID or actually even other things that have just become, even more like safety or security, for instance, now even more as well. So just that constant current of uncertainty and insecurity and yeah.
I mean, it's you raise a really, I suppose, a vital question, and I think that the process that we're talking about that mainly took place last year under even more uncertain circumstances. I think that this song helped with those anxieties and about how do you actually talk about and imagine a way forward in the city space when we're all feeling like, are there ever going to be certainties again? And I guess a process of songwriting allows us to kind of reach out to each other and to imagine things in a different way.
Can I also go in?
Yeah.
Please.
I've put conflicted and hidden. Speaking specifically about Pretoria, I'm conflicted in the sense that it is a beautiful city, but when I look at it currently, you have the east of Pretoria, and then there's a sprawl that's going towards the east, filled up with rich people, and they doing developments going way outside the city as if they are running away from something from within the city. And then at the same time, you have a township which is at the south of Pretoria, Oliven. It's a small township. There's no space and people can't sprawl and move out. The land is so compressed. We have all these people that are just congested in this one little area. So, but that area is filled up with youth that is, so to speak, I don't know how to put it, that sort of has no future, so to speak. And then that's where I use the word hidden. It's as if in that tiny little space, there's this hidden potential that is not allowed to come out and sprawl out and own the city. Yeah, I hope that makes sense.
I think you've used some really powerful language there and really interesting ideas. And so I think that you're almost moving on to the second part of what we wanted to tackle, was thinking about more specifically about specific areas, because, how do we start to think about and talk about what are going on in those spaces? And you've really articulated something really beautiful and powerful there. De Joe, I see you're busy composing in the background. Would you feel comfortable if we moved on to the second part of our...
Yeah, let's do so.
Okay, I'm going to stop.
Item 2. I've shared the link in the chat.
Let's see. All right.
Okay, so I've just shared the second one.
Okay.
Everyone, you can start responding. Just follow it. You see the question.
Oh, I see.
And then start responding. to it now. As I work, right? Cities in the sun. Wait. I live in the city in the sun, where the daughters are happy. Perfect storm.
You should be able to see it now. Excuse the
Yeah. Yes, perfect.
This is just building on from where we were a second ago. Choose, it doesn't have to be 3, but I choose places in your city or place where you're thinking of. You don't have to say like, I'm thinking of Joburg Station, but you could say it's a station, it's a taxi rank, it's a cinema, it's a street. Okay, and then very much like the last person was speaking about, describe your kind of feeling or the words that you are associating to these places. And ideally there should be, 3 very different places that elicit very different feelings for you. Some really interesting stuff coming up. If anyone wants to share what they've put up and why, we're not going to put pressure on anyone, but it would be really interesting to get some responses if you feel comfortable. Some of them are fairly self-explanatory.
I can comment on one, Jinty.
Yes, please do. Hi.
Okay. And it's back. Oh, I don't know. It's gone somewhere now. But okay. I made one on a mall, and it was interesting because somebody else did a mall and it was almost like opposite reactions to it. Because I think the other person said something about loving them and the shopping, and I was I always feel bewildered when I walk into the really huge malls in Joburg. And I think my bewilderment just comes from wondering why we are all indoors when we're in a place where we could be in a very different built form. And like I've lived in other places where the malls have to look like this. So yeah, I'm always amazed. I'm always amazed there's so many people, and I wonder where all these people are coming from. Why are we all here? And of course, I'm there myself, so that's part of the bewilderment. But yeah, I always have a very strange feeling every time I walk into one of these malls.
I mean, I guess I'm similar to you in that way, and I think down in Cape Town, there's been this big move for people to get out of malls during COVID, and now I'm wondering if people will go back to malls. But I'm wondering, the person who said they feel comfortable and they feel well in malls, do you want to, no pressure, but maybe you could give us a different feeling. How does a mall make you feel if it's not bewildered and it's not strange?
Perhaps I can go.
Yes, please.
Okay, so thank you so much for the session, and good afternoon to you all. Perhaps just touching on a bit of that. For me, I like shopping, but recently with regards to COVID, you're so scared and nervous about being in a shopping mall, touching things, being there, somebody sneezes, that kind of thing. But when we reflect on some of the questions that's been asked here, for me, when you look at your city itself, and I live in Johannesburg and work in Pretoria, I don't like Pretoria at all. So I love this side because I find it much greener, much nicer. And I just find that it's so peaceful and tranquil. But when I looked at this question, it gave me a lot of doubts because there's a lot to choose from, but a lot of uncertainty coming out at the same time because of the existing spatial reforms that we have within our society, within our cities, within our towns. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Stephanie. De Joe, are you getting any of this?
I am trying to make sense of the lyrics, of the lyrics I have.
Looking for threads.
Yes.
Joe's now on the spot. Looking at this kind of collection of ideas, there's a lot of discomfort, there's anger, discomfort in the inner city, a sense of sort of frozenness in a station, anger on the highway. Then there's a sort of networking and refreshing nature of being able to be in nature and hiking. I'm guessing that comes from Cape Town, but I'm not sure. And neighborhood, ships in the night. That's an interesting one. If anyone wants to talk a bit further on that.
Oh, that was also me, Jinty.
It was also you. Wait, go ahead. Tell us more. You're allowed 3 places.
Yes. Sorry, I just walked away, so I'm just walking. Yeah, I wanted to say something about my neighborhood because I feel a lot about my neighborhood. But it's very difficult to say that it's good, what I feel. It always feels to me like a beautiful space of possibility, but I also feel as though there are these either opportunities or people who we just like pass each other. And I wouldn't really call it a community. I don't think we have too much community, but sometimes we do. And so, yeah, all I could think of was this idea of ships passing each other in the night. It was the closest thing I could think of to not saying it's negative, but it doesn't quite work. And it's like a suburb. It's a typical suburb.
When you think of that place, is there a particular musical genre that you would associate with that feeling? Let's put De Joe on the spot.
I don't know why I just thought of the Lionel Richie song. Yeah, I guess something. Sail On.
Come on, you want to sing it.
No, you've got the musician here. Nobody wants to hear me sing. Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing a place of rusty roofs where shiny minds aspire to be on top, but only a long road. Who's that?
That's me.
Oh, wow. You want to tell us more?
As I had said earlier, I come from Nairobi.
Yes.
Specifically, maybe the largest slum right now after Soweto, Kibera. So the makeshift houses are built of mud, sticks, and a roof. After a long period of time, it decays and it becomes rusty. But the people living in that ghetto have great minds. They want to move from that ghetto to places where they can feel comfortable, they can interact with other people. But when they try to, specifically the youth, when they try to move out, they're met with obstacles like the fake promises from the politicians, the police. And during this COVID time, people were staying at home. And the youth had no place to go to find jobs. So they were staying at home. When they tried to move out, they were being brought back by force. Like they were just living there with no source of income. They had no food. So they were trying to get out there. But despite that, they were willing to do anything possible for them to get ends meet so that they can feed themselves and their families back at home. That's why rusty roof, shiny minds. Yeah, that's all I can say.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Rusty roofs, shiny minds. There's a lot of really beautiful stuff coming through. De Joe, how do you feel? Do you want to work with this? Do you have enough to work with?
Let's do something. It's still work in progress. This is experimental, folks. So let's just have fun. And this is reggae. I went Bob Marley style. All right, let's see what we have. A place of rusty roofs where all right. A place of rusty roofs where shiny minds aspire. My neighborhood is peaceful. In a city this comfort. Angry and tense.
Nice. Dumbfounded, rejected. I don't think that was in there. That's quite reggae.
Yeah, it will get in there.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
But that's lovely stuff. And I think there's some really interesting ideas, and also to start thinking about each other and the different places that you're evoking, and I guess the conversations that are going to be going on throughout this festival. And there's really a lot of richness there. I know that we wanted to end slightly earlier, so we have a third part, if you guys will bear with us, because we're talking during this festival about rebuilding the city. So, you know, we wanted to also talk about the sort of challenges that we face. And I think a song is often a way of not going, well, this is the solution, you know, we're trying to get you to think this way or do this way, but to really complexify, you know, those kind of wicked problems that we're talking about. So I'm going to try and share that. Let me try and do that. Oh, maybe you guys have already been working on it. Hold on.
Yeah, guys, so I've shared the link again. If you change one thing in your city, what's that going to be? So Kali, let's respond to that in the next few minutes. We'll have a conversation around that thing. So what we're going to do is that, like, as part of this music that I'm trying to do here with the lyrics and the lines that you're giving us, it's just part of the experimental process, right? It's a co-creation, but we're going to take these lyrics and then try to come up with something that would speak to our experiences in this room, from this room. Yeah. And so, yeah, we're not giving up on this music. This
is really just the first layer, because I've been noting down a lot of things that you guys have been coming up with. So what we hope is to create something and be able to be in touch with all of you, because I think we have all of your details through this platform.
Yeah. Awesome. Connectivity. It's okay.
Is there anyone that is prepared to talk about what they've put down? There's some quite similar themes coming up around transport, safety in our cities, informal settlements, the youth and the unemployed, and strengthening partnerships between government, civil society, and business.
Can I come in?
Please do.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the relationship between government and civil society should be really practical, because most of the departments, you find that each and every year there is budget for this and for that and for that. At local government level, there is that budget that is being given by national and provincial. So there's too much English around the integrated development program, and nothing is happening. So when the council, and I'm happy we are having new councils on the 1st of November, they should sit down, know everybody in the area, because people live in their wards. They don't live in province, they don't live in national. So we cannot be talking at that level when people are in the wards. So I think a stronger local government, even though they have collapsed all these councils, most of them, people are here. So knowing who is in that area or in that ward, because we've got many, what do you call them, organizations. They deal with mental health, they deal with women, they deal with children, there's business, there's almost everybody there. But people are working in silos, and national and government, when they come down, they don't take local government on board. You find they come up with a project that local government does not know. So there's fragmentation and there's loss of resources that do not benefit the people. So if that relations can be strong and everybody knows what everybody is doing, we can improve. That would be what I thought the relationship should be about. Thank you.
Does anyone else want to come in and maybe respond there? Because I think you're talking about collaborations, but where does that come from? Is it local government? Is it people? And how can we maybe be inspired by?
Hi, Jinty.
Yes, please.
Hello, may I please come in?
Please.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say I love that that thing of the bottom-up approach because already there are already active community change makers, this new wave of creative placemakers who are already getting along with it, who are just on the ground. They're getting together and finding creative ways to fix the pains, that are caused by social ills. So almost from the top, there needs to be a sort of academic eye that comes just to view what is happening and then quantify that into working toolkits, documents, and things around governance and policy making. So this time around, it needs to be observing eyes from the top that just come and view what is happening, because during the COVID pandemic, people rose up, civil society rose up and found unique ways to do these things. But now it hasn't been quantified and put into a working document or a series of working documents to say that this is what was achieved and this is what we achieved. Practically, we are a band that plays out in the Joburg streets. We're known as a Zurich Street Symphony. We bring a vibe into the city. We're the first face that the international world sees when they land by way of the the sightseeing bus. When they land, that's who they first see. That vibe, that change in psyche. When a person comes and you change their mood for the day. That's the oneness that we are speaking about. So it doesn't have to happen in very big amounts. It can be taken in small amounts to say that if we can fix the psyche of the people first, then we'll have a much easier or a much cleaner canvas to work in terms of the people. That's what I believe. Just to add on to Dr. Gering's approach from the bottom up. Yes, we are in wards, but I'm taking it down to the person to say that it's a person living in the ward that's trying to address the person. Thank you.
Are there people living in places outside of South Africa that maybe want to come in here and talk to this issue? Because I think that is also what the songwriting process that De Joe and I and others were engaged in. It's around, we say we're sort of talking a lot for other people, the youth, how there's this idea of being able to reach people, but actually, as you say, things are already happening. We just need to have an observing eye. And how do we bring this conversation together?
All right, let me give you what I got. Together and apart, youth apathy failing to act, private car dominance. Oh yeah. Informalities. Okay. Yeah, that's all I got.
How about we do a little bit of a rap? Who can do the beatbox? Tabo, I'm sure you.
Yes, I was just coming to call you, Tabo.
I'll be on behalf of Tabo, but I can do a beatbox. Yeah. Well, what do you need, man?
I don't rap though. Any rapper here? Any rapper?
Here? We need Romeo.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah, maybe some more lines or some more tunes with what we have, with the lyrics we have. I mean, the responses we have.
I was saying rhythm-wise or harmony-wise, but what do you need? What do you need? Take it away.
Okay. You can come, yeah, take it away. Yeah.
I'm waiting for you, De Joe.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Informal settlements. Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
how
let's
fast
see.
you want it?
This is
Slow?
serious stuff. It's serious stuff.
Tambo, we gotta link. We gotta link up, man.
Okay. It's Obi on behalf of Tabo, but I'm here. I'm here.
What
All
did
right,
you say
so,
your book is called? Can you give it to us again?
Azuri Street Symphony. AZURI.
Mm-hmm.
Street Symphony. STREET.
Okay.
Wow. Do you want to put it on the chat so
Symphony, and
people
we are
can
all
follow
about
you?
collabo. We are all about collabo. And then my handle is Odyssey of OB. That's on Instagram. Odyssey, ODY.
You could drop it in the chat.
Okay, put it in the chat.
Okay, I'll drop it in. Cool.
Okay.
Perfect. Will do. Thank you.
Thanks, bro. Jinty, I think we've had a wonderful session. Guys, anyone wants to share a reflection before we go? We're rounding up now. Anybody from the participants who want to share reflection?
Well, we're going to be collecting up all of these lines from various places and splicing them together, and hopefully be able to send you all an email, because I think you've all contributed to sort of what could be interesting ideas that are merging and coming together and maybe can inspire you as you move through this festival. I think talking about rebuilding our cities after a very strange time in our cities, you know, the problems that existed before and the problems as they are now. I think people have spoken about how they're living that through different spaces and places. And we also invite you to listen to the song, which will be played, I think, just between 1 and 2, right, De Joe?
Yeah, it's beginning the,
Three.
so it will start the session, the afternoon session, so at 1. Yeah. But the song is also available. So, I mean, outside of the conference, you could just search Southern Cities and you'll get a song on our YouTube, either my YouTube or the YouTube for the Africa Center for Cities. You find the song there as well. Yeah, it's been an amazing time. Yeah, thanks for
being with us and being experimental and being open to this, especially on a digital platform. It's been really fun, and maybe we can continue at a different time and location, maybe even in person. I hope so.
Yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.